Okay, so we're in a student interview with Jack Bell, one of our star students here at Client Capital. Jack, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Jack. Run an agency, co-founded with my friend Niall, um, in the insurance niche.
Fantastic, man. And how are you getting on?
Yeah, it's going well. Obviously, a lot of problems come up, but it's handling them and getting on with them and finding a solution that's sort of long term rather than just a quick fix.
Definitely, man, definitely. And I think you're at the point now where your problems are more about scaling, right, instead of like finding new clients.
Yeah, it's not so much about like finding clients because I find loads of clients, but the problem is like finding clients that have $500, like maybe even $1,000 to invest is actually pretty easy. Like that's not even a difficult task. The task we're finding is finding the clients that are making already sort of a decent amount and have like $2,000-3,000 to invest in a month. Because if
Definitely.
we're trying to hit like 30K a month, I'd rather do it with 10 clients than 25.
Definitely. I think as you scale, right, it's more of a time exchange because I see so many agency owners when they first start out, they just want to sign loads and loads of clients, which is great. It's something obviously we help you start out with, especially at the early stages of client capital. And then it's about how do you reduce the amount of clients you've got and actually just replace them with clients that are paying you more. But look, just want to kind of give everyone who is watching this video a bit of backstory on Jack Bell. So you started off in car sales and then you jumped into your agency. Do you want to just kind of explain how that's kind of gone?
Yeah, so I started off in car sales, worked my way up to like a manager in car sales, and I couldn't be bothered with all the hours and sort of being stuck in the office. And so started building the agency, got to the point where it was sustainable enough to jump out of, and then jumped out of, and now just focusing on scaling it even more.
Fantastic, man. And how long did it take you before you quit your job?
Since like I started, or like I took it, I don't know. I the first 2 months I was just doing stupid shit, to be honest.
Yeah,
I was just doing like when you find like you're just doing mundane tasks like building like your website and stuff like that. You don't need to worry about that, right? Like I probably did that for about 2.5 months, but it was about September, October is when like I proper started, and I quit in the middle of November.
it's crazy.
So that's 6 weeks of actually just doing the right stuff rather than running around trying to like do everything. You make less like I worked less and made more because I weren't like doing tasks that weren't really making me anything. I just focused on doing this one thing that was making me money, and that was Facebook ads and landing clients.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So talk to the guys that are trying to understand a little bit more about like the direction that they should take. Obviously, we teach you guys everything at Client Capital, but give them some advice. Like, I mean, you're at a person right now, and we're going to go into your specifics in a second in terms of revenue, clients, that type of thing. But what bit of advice would you give to someone that's watching this video right now that is just like wanting to start an agency or have started an agency and they're looking to scale further?
Um, what advice? Stop doing stupid shit.
Yeah,
Right? It just doesn't make you money. Like people focus on like logos, they focus on this. Our logo we whacked up in 4 minutes on Canva. Right?
it's,
That has not determined a sale. Right?
yeah,
Biggest thing you can do, like if you're gonna do social media, one thing we've realised as of late, it's fucking pointless, right? You can sit there and you can be active, you do these fucking silly graphics that we've been doing ourselves and we realise how silly it is. But if you're gonna do social media, do videos, don't promote what you do, just talk about some of the benefits and sort of the experiences you've had on social media, like or with your clients, some of their like success stories, and they'll naturally find their way to you. Don't like if you're gonna work, if you're gonna do social media, do it properly. Just talk about your experiences. Talk about this is what we've been doing with such and such. We're taking them from X to Z. Leave it there. You don't need to say if you're interested, click no. Just say nothing. It's organic. Just leave them. They'll come to you. Like rather than focusing on like for me, we haven't done anything like LinkedIn. We haven't done anything like that. We haven't focused on one thing. We're just focused on Facebook ads, and that's all we're focusing on. Just focus on one thing that we've got working, and then that's it. And we're scaling that.
awesome, man, awesome. And what would you say has kind of helped you, especially like within the Client Capital program? Like, what's been like the biggest thing that me and Sub have been able to kind of help you with your journey?
Like if you ask, like you'll come into problems all the time, right? But if you ask the right question, you'll get the answer, and the problem isn't that deep. So it's like even just like it's little things constantly along the way. It's like, how do we find the right person for an interview? It's like, okay, take the emotion out of it. Ask the same questions. How they handle. Okay, right, we've done that, well, that's solved. So
Yeah.
it's more just, the thing is, at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to grow your agency, but if you want to scale, you need to ask people that have already scaled what they've done, so you just avoid making mistakes. Most people won't take the advice because it's not what they want to hear, and then they make the mistake. So it's like,
100%. I think actually we had this conversation when you first started, because I think at first, like, you were joining all the calls, right? But you weren't like implementing it. And then as soon as you like started implementing it, having your own twist on it, and all of a sudden you just started to excel, didn't you? So how many clients are you at right now? He's checking the whiteboard. For everyone that's watching this video, the advice that we have is you must always have a whiteboard in your room or your office.
depends. We've actually, I've kicked off quite a few clients, to be honest. I don't reckon, it depends if you need to or not, but some of them are just hassled. Like, yeah, and the thing is, the most problematic clients are the ones that pay you the least, right?
100%.
Like, the minute we're sitting on 8, but there's like, with the deposits that have been taken, that
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot more once they're paid in full.
That's nice. I mean, look, 8 clients, solid, all on retainers as well. You've got that MRR. You've left your job. There are so many people watching this video right now that want to be in your position. What's the one bit of advice, maybe like just general business advice, not necessarily like agency advice, that you would give to someone that is in a 9 to 5 currently watching this video, perhaps, you know, wants to join Client Capital? What bit of advice would you give them?
Stop focusing on the end goal.
Love it.
If you only focus on the end goal, if you're always focusing on the end goal and you always think about it, you've got one eye for that and one eye for your next step. If you just look at what you need to do next, you can put all the attention on that and you'll grow so much faster. If you keep worrying about, oh, I want to hit this month, I want to do this, I want to get to this, just don't care about it. Don't care about it. Enjoy the journey. If you enjoy walking, you always walk further than the person that's trying to get to a destination. Just enjoy the journey, embrace it, and you'll get there eventually. It don't matter how long it takes.
And what's the goal for you next then, bro? Because obviously you're scaling quite quickly. I know a lot of people watching this video don't know who Jack is and what he's done and all of this type of thing. But I mean, you've just been running ads to build your own in-house call center, which is absolutely amazing, right? So what's like the goal?
Not a clue. if I'm honest, not a clue. All I really care about now, like the next things I'm sort of focusing on is like I'm to the point where MRR is decent. Obviously, we're gonna grow that even more. At the minute, I'm not trying to crush and land loads of clients. At the minute, I'm trying to get a service that's so valuable I can then go to big companies.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build like an all-in-one service. So not only are we going to produce the ads, we're also going to book these into appointments. We're going to book these people in through different sources, right? Every different touch point. So then from a like business's perspective, they only focus on one thing. All they do is they turn up to meetings and close deals. They don't have to chase clients. They're not running after clients. They're doing the one thing that makes them the most money, which is close more deals. Because realistically, like they cannot take 40 clients a week and book in 40 clients into their calendar a week. It's not sustainable. It doesn't work, right? But what they can do is they can do 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 40 meetings if you really wanted to crush it, right? You can get them 40 meetings a week by building a system that can put enough in there. So then closing deals, because even if they're closing sort of five meetings a week, some of these like deals for them are like 20k, right? So that's 100k a week they're making. So by focusing on that system, we can then go and pitch our services at 5, 10k a month because we've got an all built out system for them, and our MRR is going to skyrocket. So for us, like we sat down and thought about it, was like, look, because we want to get, one of our goals we hit, like we don't really think about it too much, but we want to get to like 100k within the next few months.
Yeah.
100k a month, and we was like, right. We looked at it and was like, okay, if we keep signing these small clients, how many are we going to need? About 40. Oh, fuck
That's
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably even more than 40, right? And we was like, that's not enough. But if we start getting to a point where we can charge clients like $12,000 a month for an in-house solution, right? Plus ad spend. So say they're spending, say, 20,000 a month with us. One of these deals that we're moving into, like, I'm not going to give out all the source on it.
No,
right?
please don't, because otherwise everyone's going to be writing down notes and implementing it themselves.
Right. But we have found, essentially, we've been in our niche for a while, and there's one thing in our niche that only a few select people are selling, but it's worth tenfold what the average person is selling. So it's worth about 20 to 40k per sale. Now, if we have 8k ad spend, 12k retainer, and we're building that out, right, we know we can close them at 4 or 5 a month minimum, which means they're 5x in their ROI. Realistically, they're going to close even more than that. But if they're 5x in their ROI, they can do that all over Canada and US because there's only one other company doing it, and we've stole quite a few of their customers. So we've realised their service is awful. Also, funnel hack as much as you can. I've got an appointment at 8, which is funnel hacking. Right, do it constantly. Just tell people. Like one of the best things that I'd recommend is if you're going to funnel hack your clients, right? Like or people, a lot of your clients will actually jump on the calls with you. So like some of like if I'm going to competitors, I'll actually jump on with one of my clients, and they're happy to do it because I'm like, look, I'm just going to get you more value.
100%.
And then like also funnel hack other people that are doing the same thing as you, or anything you see on there. So I always do that and say, look, we're struggling to get in front of the right people. See, okay, what advice can we take out of this? Even if you're not going to pitch their service, most of the time you're not going to buy their service, right? Completely. But you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to get to a point where you're like, oh, actually, that's really good. I should have done it sooner.
You know, one of the KPIs for me when I first started my agency to get to 6 figures a month, one of the things that I used to do is funnel hack at least twice a week, which is like, people would be like, well, surely at that time you're going to run out of competitors. But I would just go into so many different niches and just see what other people are doing, because you're so right. Like, take all of the information you can get that's out there, and instead of reinvent the wheel, just build on the existing wheel, right? And make it better and work from there. But bro, that's some solid advice for sure. But I know you're just about to drop even more sauce, and I don't want them to have it all for free, right? So I'm going to ask you one last question. What would you say to someone that is kind of in a position where they're thinking about joining Client Capital, they're unsure, they're on the fence, they're watching this video right now, they want to commit, they want to take action? What would you say?
If you keep doing the same shit every single day, you're going to be the same person and you're not going to get anywhere. If you want to make change, you have to do something different. You have to invest. The amount of shit we've invested to, like, we've made good investments, we've made bad investments. It's business, right? If you're not prepared to invest, you're not going to succeed in business, right? You need to stop worrying about what you're going to get out of it, right? Because if you worry about what you're going to get out of it, you're going to struggle to find value. But if you think, okay, you know what, with time, this is going to become valuable. It's going to become valuable. So if you just focus on like actually investing into yourself rather than sitting there buying video games and this and that, because realistically, right, if you didn't spend money on materialistic items that get you nowhere in life and make your life no different whatsoever, you can find the money. Anyone can find the money. You can do it in a month if you really try, right? So if you're serious about actually building a business, right, put all the materialistic things to the side, scale, and then if you really are a materialistic person, you're going to have loads of money to buy things anyway. But if you're not, you've got a load of money, so then you've got freedom to go travel and do whatever you want.
Exactly, mate. Solid advice. Solid advice. I think as well, like on the point of investing in yourself, right? Like so many people are so scared to do it, but like, what's the worst that can happen? And in your experience, obviously, you've enjoyed your investment with Client Capital, from what I understand, and you know, you've grown to a very good place. I think even like the meetups, right? Like you met with Zub, and it kind of helped you with your niche, and all of a sudden you made like $6,000 like the next week or something. Like once you had a conversation with Zub, am I right in saying that? Something along those lines. I can't remember.
About 6,000 like Canadian we made, so it was a lot. It was about $3.5 grand, right, in the first month. So like we went from like struggling to like I think we had like £50 or £100 on MRR, right, at that point. Because like we was just signing websites, right?
Yeah.
It was like £50 MRR, not sustainable, right? If you're gonna build websites, think outside the box, right? Don't just copy everyone else's business model because it's just long, right? But we realized it wasn't like sustainable, and then I was like, okay, what else can we do? Like, there's got to be something. And then said, okay, what about this niche? So we went into this niche. I'm not gonna say what it is. Like, do your research if you want to know. You got to go through the struggle, right?
Right.
We found the niche, and then we thought, oh, fuck it, let's give it a go. And then, like, within like the first like 10 days of being in that niche, I closed like 3 clients.
Right. Insane.
And then they weren't like the highest retainers, but that first client I ever signed is still a client now. I've got so much knowledge and I've learned so much from being in this industry. Like, that's one of the things. Like, don't be afraid. Like, if you don't have any clients, land them for like a low amount of money, right? Because it's going to do 2 things. Not only is it going to improve the value of your service, but it's going to give you sort of that mental fortitude that, you know what, actually I can provide this, so I can charge more. I know these brokers are making a lot of money, or I know these people are making a lot of money from what I do, so I can charge more. And you, like, if you're quite a like morally driven person, you're not impacted by that because you know what, these people are going to make money. Everyone's making money. I can charge more, and they'll still make good money.
Definitely, mate. Well, thank you so much for doing this student interview. Honestly, it's a pleasure to have you as always, Jack. Keep smashing it.